The Classical Style by Charles Roson.
The Popular Style of Haydn, 2. The surprise return, a hallmark of Haydn's style, relies on the distinct shape of the finale theme. The surprise return, a hallmark of Haydn's style, relies on the distinct shape of the finale theme. The ingenuity lies in creating anticipation through suggestions, often with a rollicking effect. Themes with upbeats are particularly effective, allowing for repeated play, as demonstrated in the Surprise Symphony's finale. Consequently, most of the finales of the late symphonies start with an upbeat. Those with two upbeats work even better, and the result in Symphony No. 88 is incomparably funny. While the same witty effect is raised to the point of comic magnificence in Symphony No. 93. Haydn's folk styles. The melodies of marked popular character in the trios of the Minuets are the most striking examples of this style. They make an unabashed appeal to popular taste, democratizing the traditionally aristocratic form. Haydn's technique of thematic development was able to accept almost any material and absorb it. The simplest yodel phrase is transformed by the instrumentation, and a subtle alteration of its rhythm allows it to bear the weight of a modulation. This isolating tendency of the classical style preserved the integrity of both the style and the material. It enabled Haydn to exploit the most characteristically popular side of the material, while using it as the basis for the most sophisticated structures. The enchanting orchestration of Haydn's Minuets. Rimsky-Korsakov declared Haydn to be the greatest master of orchestration. In Symphony No. 97, the combination of different orchestral colors remains deliberately heterogeneous, creating individual exquisite details. The Pa of a German dance band rendered with the utmost refinement, amazingly by kettle drums and trumpet pianissimo. The rustic glissando is given finicky elegance by the grace notes in the horns and the doubling of the melody an octave higher with the solo violin. For example, in Symphony No. 93 Movement 1, the details are not intended to blend, but to be set in relief. Haydn's extensive writing for the strings on the bridge of their instruments in the slow movement of the same work is only another example. Haydn's transformation of ternary form. Haydn transformed the ternary form, making the middle section a true classical development rather than a simple relaxation of tension. This innovation can be heard in the dance finales of his late piano trios. Haydn's use of the introduction was also groundbreaking. He turned it into a dramatic gesture, creating a sense of expectancy and adding importance to the work. The increased weight of Haydn's style can be felt in his transformation of formal structures, like the traditional ternary ABA form. He created a genuine harmonic resolution in the return of the first part. The new dramatic role of the introduction can be seen at its most latent in the opening of Haydn's Quartet Opus 71 No. 3. The brisk single-chord introduction not only creates expectancy and emphasizes the ensuing light comic theme in E-flat major but also introduces a new dramatic interest. The pause in the second bar highlights that the initial chord was a mere gesture, a physical movement conveying meaning. All six of Haydn's quartets Opus 71 and 74 play with this idea, which goes from one or two chords to a fanfare. And finally, in Opus 74 No. 3, to a first theme that is made to sound like an introduction. The art of slow introductions. Haydn was a master of the slow introduction, using it to set the tone for the upcoming movement. His early works in D major, like No. 57 and No. 73, are great examples of this technique. Mozart's Prague Symphony in D major is another brilliant example of a slow introduction. While it lacks Haydn's thematic transition between the introduction and the allegro, it has a wealth of counterpoint and chromatic detail. The key to Haydn's success with slow introductions was his understanding of their nebulous quality. He used related themes in the allegro to create a cohesive piece without overstepping the limits of the introduction. The art of slow introductions is a testament to the creativity and innovation of classical composers. When it has a shape that cannot be so hidden, it is played so slowly that it seems no melody, but the majestic outline of a harmony. As in Symphony No. 100, Military Symphony opens with a theme. That is a half-formed premonition of the main theme of the allegro. And the Symphony No. 102 presents the same effect of the melody taking shape out of the not quite fully formed material of the introduction. Perhaps most remarkable in this respect are the symphonies numbers 97 and 103. In the former, the introduction both opens and closes with a simple but expressive cadence, which appears later as the cadence of the allegro exposition itself. They're written out in longer note values so that the tempo is approximately the same as the opening adagio. This way of recalling an introduction was vivid enough to inspire Beethoven to employ it in the E-flat trio for piano and strings Op. 70 No. 2. In Symphony No. 103, the drum roll, the rhythm of the opening phrase is completely uniform. The opening theme of the vivace is clearly but very freely drawn from it. But it also returns with its sequence of pitches intact, and a new and highly characteristic rhythm. And further makes a startling reappearance at its original very slow tempo near the end of the movement. The significance of symphonic introductions. In the late 18th century, the establishment of the tonic was crucial to the significance of any work. Symphonic introductions served as delaying actions, widening the proportions and range of possible action. The extensive chromaticism that appears in almost all of them serves the same purpose as the minor mode. The disturbance of the sense of harmonic stability lies only on the surface of the fundamental harmonic structure. Classical introductions enlarge the thematic possibilities of the style in two complementary ways. First, they enabled the composer to use a principal theme of the following allegro, a melody too light to serve as the opening of the entire work. The second thematic expansion involves the transformative impact of the introduction on the first theme. In Mozart's Symphony in E-flat major K. 543, the allegro's melody extends the unresolved cadence of the adagio, creating an end as well as a beginning. Haydn and Beethoven also utilized this effect, with Beethoven's Eroica Symphony exemplifying a subtle shift in rhythmic sense due to brusque opening chords. Beethoven's romantic introduction. Beethoven's F-sharp major sonata Op. 78 is a great example of his innovation. The romantic introduction is so well-rounded and complete that it's difficult to attach to the movement that follows. Beethoven's melody in the introduction remains a fragment, stopping just in time. The immovable F-sharp in the bass defines the tonic with the clarity of Haydn. The fermata in the fourth measure creates the same feeling of expectancy as the introductions of the London symphonies. Beethoven substitutes a simple phrase that finishes on the tonic, but seems not to end. The fragmentary character of Beethoven's introduction is indispensable. The classical introduction was an open effect in a system that demanded a closed form.